welcome to the Fixed Virus Show. I'm going to release this on April 16th, so it'll be Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to try to do a couple of quick 3 items here, as you see on the screen here. We're going to discuss the threat actors, end of life, and security policy. First, we gotta listen to the Simona Petra beginning. Okay. Now that we've started here, as you can see, it's nice and sunny in this office right now. So the theme of this particular show is should you ignore cybersecurity? Well, of course you shouldn't, but for some reason there's a number of us that do ignore cybersecurity. And there are probably a few reasons for that. Maybe it's just too hard for us, we don't know how to solve it, and we just kind of go on our day as we always are. We've done a few things, we maybe figure out the password thing, or we employ a IT person to handle the things. I believe though that it comes from the top down. You really, a company should explain what it's doing to all of its employees. So why are we doing this? Why are we focusing on cybersecurity? Because of the threat actors and the criminals. That's why, the bottom line. Because it can change your complete setting. They can steal your information, they can destroy your IT infrastructure if you're not careful with how you're defending your machines. So, and that is why you need to be aware that the threat actors of China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, they have a number of attacks coming at you. They're always looking for vulnerabilities. So, and this is why EOL is important. EOL means end of life. End of life is like even your operating system becomes end of life. You've heard of Windows 98, Windows 2000. This is like 21 years later now. Windows 2000 is no longer being updated. It's just to make it a simple explanation. Microsoft no longer updates Windows 2000. So if you're running Windows 2000, hopefully you're not, then you're in trouble. You're literally in trouble. But because your machine is going to be hacked, it's just a matter of when and how. Not when, not the will it be. It's not will it be. It's when. So therefore, you have to keep an eye on the end of life schedule that Microsoft creates. And as you may know, this week was the second Tuesday of the month, which is Patch Tuesday for Microsoft. So therefore, there was 110 patches this week. If your machine has an operating system that is end of life, it won't get patched. You have to keep an eye on this. End of life, patching and upgrading. If you could get that going and keep that up to date on a regular basis, that's almost like half the battle. You've got social engineering, you've got other attacks that could also attack you if you're clicking on the wrong things. But if you could patch and make sure your machines are updated properly, and therefore they're not end of life, you are in good shape. So the third thing that I wanted to mention is that you should create a security policy. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. Is to explain to your employees that a security policy is important. I'm I believe it's important. Cybersecurity is important. So if you say a security policy is important, cybersecurity is important, that changes the employees' standing and how they do things. They pay attention to it. So what is in the security policy? Well, it's what kind of passwords should you use? Should the employees be using company equipment to check their personal emails? That's where you can get into trouble. So if you're checking your personal emails, you're clicking on stuff, you could get social engineering and malware out of those things. So therefore, what you could do, and I recommend that you do this, is you place your employees and your customers on a guest network, which are walled off from your regular machines. There's ways to test this. So you need to make sure that the customers and the employees, their personal email is not on the regular company network. That's the best way to handle things, because then you also have to manage their personal stuff. If you let them go on the company network with the company connections, you can give them the guest account, but if you allow them to go into your company connections, and so they can check the files and all that from the company network, then you're opening yourself up for the malware on that network. So those are some questions that you need to answer and figure out, and you need to convey that to your employees. How important is it? So anyway, I want some of your feedback. And is this the kind of thing, feedback, what I'd like is, why are people ignoring cyber? Do you think us creating a security policy is good? Those kinds of things. What do you think of this Fixed Virus show? And also, look, count how many times I say so. I don't know. Just to make it a little game, I guess. Anyways, and therefore, we're at the end. And thank you for watching. Click a like,